It's literally minus 25 out, and here I am wearing a tank top. Welcome. So a lot of people ask me why ABC football, or why ABC Rider fans, or why just ABC. So it's been known for a really long time, and especially among Rough Rider fans, that when Calgary is in the playoffs, or really playing anyone, we often say ABC as an acronym for anyone but Calgary. That actually has nothing to do with why I named my blog or any of the pages I'm involved with after ABC. So the real reason is that at the time that I was deciding to form ABC Rider Fans, I wanted something that could be found alphabetically when you did a search. So I really didn't actually want to use ABC because of the anyone but Calgary thing, and but yet I just felt really driven to name it that because of how easily I thought it would be found. So the other thing though was that I wanted to create a page where it wasn't purely just Rough Rider news, because as we know, in the off season, maybe there isn't a lot of Rough Rider news, but there's a lot of CFL news. So I thought that by using the letters ABC, it could sort of also refer to the, 101s of football, so to speak. So that's where that whole idea came from. So after the flurry of activity last week with free agency and all the signings, by the way, is there anybody left for the Toronto hasn't signed yet? I don't know, but it seems like they keep finding people. And that's a subject in itself, because it seems like they've signed an extreme amount of people with the Toronto Argonauts. And I can't help but thinking, well, they can't sustain that, can they? Because the roster has to be cut down to a certain size at training camp, or at different stages in training camp, right? You guys know. It just seems like every day somebody else has been signed by the Toronto Argonauts. So what do you think about this idea that Randy Ambrosie talked about changing the playoff format? So it's interesting how, for now, with there only being 9 teams, it would sort of work. But then he floated out the idea that the first place team would select their opponent. Well, how in the world does that work? It just sounds like a game show. And here we are trying to boost the CFL and make it more known around the world and more popular everywhere else, and then we're kind of going to make a joke out of it by saying, oh, you get to choose who you play. And then how do you choose anyway? Like, I saw somebody on Twitter say, oh, do you choose playing the Rough Riders because you know you'll get a full stadium, or do you choose playing like the BC Lions because you know you're going to win, or something to that effect? So I can't really get behind this idea. It just sounds too far-fetched to me. Another topic that gets talked about a lot these days is the idea of having the Vanier Cup and the Grey Cup during the same weekend. And at first I thought, well, yeah, that's actually a great idea, because you're already going to have everybody gathered in that same place anyway. Why not give them another activity to do? And I kind of thought at the same time that it would help out youth sports. Maybe because all the TV crews are already there for Grey Cup, they would be more willing to broadcast something like this, or, it would just be more prevalent in our life. So we talked about it on ABC Rider Fans actually, and someone said, well, you don't see the Memorial Cup and the Stanley Cup being played at the same venue during the same week. And I was like, that's right, you don't. And probably hockey fans, see, I'm not a hockey fan really, would probably have strong feelings about that. So the idea, I think, maybe, even though what I first said also makes sense, but would you really have the same crowd attending both events anyway? We have issues right now as it is with Grey Cup cities having enough venue space. You know, there's the whole week-long fan festivities that go on. There's already been talk about how, you know, there's so-called lack of hotel space and all this sort of thing. What if you were having two events? Would you attract double the people? Would the U Sports people actually be interested in attending Grey Cup? Would Grey Cup people actually be excited about attending a U Sports game? There's a little bit of maybe a disconnect there that we haven't truly thought about. But I think that it's way too big at this point for one city to host it all. So another thing that I think that's worthy of discussion is the XFL. Now, as much as I love football, the XFL has not been something that I've tuned into. I think I watched maybe 5 minutes of one game a week ago, but you know, like, I couldn't really tell you who the teams are. I know Mark Trestman is playing. That would be something, wouldn't it? Mark Trestman is coaching. But recently, we've had the news of S.J. Green signing in the XFL, and then it just came out that Derek Dennis, who was a free agent in the CFL, has not been awarded a contract with anybody. Is awarded the right word? Whatever. Has now decided to sign with the XFL as well. So I've been told the base salary in the XFL is $55,000 a season. And I think some of the ideas is that since the season doesn't coincide with the CFL season, they could still potentially play in both leagues. But that doesn't seem, you know, it just doesn't seem like a good idea to me. What if you play in the XFL, you get injured, and then there goes your CFL season? I know we talk a lot about how CFL players don't make a lot of money, but yet you'd think that when it's your livelihood and the league that has provided that livelihood for you for so long, you know, you wouldn't be quite so eager to jump ship. Although, you know, I don't want to slander Derek Dennis. I liked him when he was a Rough Rider, and you know what, I tolerated him as a Stampeder. But he has to do what he thinks is best for him and his family. And so if that's signing a contract with the XFL, then so be it. Now, are we going to see a whole bunch of other players fleeing the CFL to play in the XFL? We don't know. There was a tweet today that mentioned the XFL is going to go hard after CFL players. But how is that possible? And how can the CFL allow that to happen? These are all questions that are out there and discussions to be had. If you join me today for this little video, thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting me. But at the same time, feel free to leave comments. You know, discussions are great to be had no matter where they are. And, you know, let me know what things that you'd like to see my opinion on. What things would you maybe like to see on my blog? What kinds of things would you like me to discuss? Just let me know and I'll see what I can do. Don't forget to like, please subscribe, please share, and I'll see you next time.